Guys, and welcome to another tutorial for DEHANCER Pro plugin for DaVinci Resolve. But even though I'm using in DaVinci Resolve, but the rules applies also for other video editing software such as Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut X. But we're gonna show it in DaVinci Resolve. Now it's pretty easy. I have few footages. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select them, a certain portion of it, because I don't need all of it. So some drone shot, I'm just going to select and make sure that they're like the nice and beautiful part of it, so that it's not too long and boring. Make sure that they're all nicely here. I will just do a quick slide in and see if there is any changes. Looks like that I don't need all of it, so I could just even make it smaller, just about there. We're going to do that, and pretty much for that too. So I'm going to do drag and drop, but select the section first, not too long. There you go. I'm going backward and make sure that it's a nice and beautiful part of it. So even though it's a nice beautiful drone shot, but I'm moving too much here. So sometimes you need to learn how to let things go. So I'm going to try a little bit, see if it's actually working anyway for this video. And I might have to make a hard decision to just ignore the whole thing. So maybe I'll just keep a tiny portion of it. Same for here. See if it's working for me as well. Let's see. So you see, you have to, in the video tutorial, it's not just about how to use the DEHANCER Pro, but it's also how to select the right footage. That's very important. Otherwise, the whole idea of making beautiful cinematic video kind of doesn't make any sense anymore. In this one, I think I like a particular part of this thing, which is it starts slowly and then go really fast. This one, and that's fantastic. Has a lot of action, emotion. So I'm gonna go backward, select that portion. I'll make it as a start so that it accelerates the thing. And then I have a GoPro footage of inside the train, which has no similarity with the drone footage, but I'm gonna do that just for fun. Just to show you two different things, how the color might look inside with the DJI and with GoPro. Right, so we selected our footages. So I'm going to bring down a little adjustment clip right there, and we're going to apply our effects there. Now I'm going to go to the edit tab, color tab, sorry. Make sure that I have plenty of spaces. I'll turn off the dropper. Now, you could do many things. In video, YouTube, I've seen that many people are starting a lot of color correction before even using the DEHANCER Pro. Fair enough. Everybody has their own style. I like to keep it just pure simple. The reason behind, I'm going to show you something. There's one thing that I really like about the DEHANCER Pro, which is you have everything, including the temperature, tint, defringe, and the exposure, push and pull. So what I mean by that, even though DaVinci Resolve has an extraordinary amount of color correction and luma correction, you can do more or less everything here as in the slider part. Then if you want to do more changes, you can always use things like color wrapper or the dropper with the, essentially you can just do the select part of it with the rest of the tool. So you can do global editing there and the selective editing with the rest of the tool. So I kind of don't use color part that much or luma part that much, as long as I have everything available here. So now I'm going to turn off the film because I want to see exactly what is happening. Right. Now we are going to see if the temperature is looking well. Normally it looks all right. Maybe I could just turn up the temperature a little bit, but not for now. Actually, I'm going to select my film now, not the Kodak Vision. I love Kodak Vision, but in this case I'm probably going to use either CineStill 50. It has like a really nice, fantastic look, cinematic obviously, or my favorite Fuji Pro 400H. Let's see. That has another kind of much more warmer look, which is I particularly really use it. Or Natura have this less saturated, muted look. That being said, you have the Eterna Vivid, which is just phenomenal for this type of calm look. You also have Velvia, but Velvia to me need a lot of work. I prefer to select anything that gives you a good look at the beginning so that I have less work to do. So I spend more time selecting the right film stock and then work from there. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to either Kodak Aerocolor, no. I'm going to go back to Fuji Pro 400H. So we have a look. I'm just going to do a nice slide. Looks pretty much fantastic to me. Right. Now, going back to the temperature, but before I go there, I'm going to select this individual GoPro footage and kind of decontrast it with the curb. So I'm going to pull up a little bit because it's a little bit too contrasty in my taste. Now back to the adjustment. I should be fine now. All right. I'll make it a little bit more warm because I like this warm vibe of it. Same in everything. Tint doesn't need to be touched. Now, do I need to do push and pull? So I'm going to see exactly what is the effect of it. All right. Not huge. In the expand, the global black point, do I add contrast or no? So I'm going to add a touch of a black, very touch of white, give a little bit of boost. Looks all right. Now, print, I'll keep it linear. I'll close it off. Color head. Now this is the fun part. So if you love color correction, you have two options. Either use the color head or open another node and use curve. And in the curve, you can use red, green, and blue separately. It does exactly the same. But I'm going to do it here just to simplify the whole process. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. I'll touch yellow. A touch magenta. And a little bit more cyan. Film grain, my favorite. I'm going to add a little bit more film grain just to give a really soft and vintage look. Halation, I'll try it on, see what is the effect of it. I'll turn off and on. Not aggressive. It doesn't work in this type of scenario. You need like a neon light in the nighttime and things like that. It works really well. However, I'll give a little bit of soft look. This thing deserves a nice soft look of it. Vignette. No. film breadth because it makes the film move a little bit, and shows imperfection on the contrast and each frame, like old days, because old days things were not perfect. So it shows imperfection to give an authentic look. And get weave, so it basically moves back and forth. You know that when you put a film roll in the machine, the motor moves, so sometimes the frame moves. So that's another authentic look. Right. So everything else, it just you don't really necessarily need it because you got what you want. Look at that. Fantastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back to my edit tab, add some audio and add some title, and then in few seconds you will see the final result. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let me present to you the final result right now, and I'm gonna leave after that. Wish you all the best.